Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Lucamus Prime here, and welcome to the next episode of Movie Didn't Need a Sequel. And guys, today I'm going to be covering an example, which is probably, in my opinion, another example of, a really big example of movie didn't need any sequels. And this movie, guys, is one of my favourite sci-fi movies of all time. Well, sci-fi horror, whatever you want to call it in terms of genre. And I also regard it as my second favourite movie by director James Cameron of all time, after Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which I've already covered in this series. And this movie, guys, I've already touched upon in my ranking of this particular franchise. And the movie I'm going to be covering that did not need sequels in today's video is going to be for 1986's Aliens. So yeah, this is, of course, the second installment of the Alien franchise. And to me, it is the true end of the whole Alien franchise. So, yeah. So, this movie, guys, I really adore. Absolutely brilliant movie. One of the best sci-fi action movies of all time. And now, as a bit of a summary, I do also love the first movie. I can actually also a masterpiece like its sequel. But for me personally, guys, I like Aliens way more because, in my opinion, many of the visual effects and special effects, of course, improved. And I think the story was also way more stronger as well. Even though, of course, the first movie is still a masterpiece like its sequel. And I love how this movie also made Ripley the main character of the first movie and main character in this movie again. One of my favourite action heroes of all time, guys. And I really love Ripley in this. They made her way more awesome than she was in the first movie, way more badass. And she was such a great character. And we were also introduced to many other beloved characters, such as Michael Biehn, who plays Dwayne Hicks, who is a great supporting character, and also as well Carrie Henn as Newt as well, who is a character who in my opinion had really amazing chemistry with Ripley when they were interacting, and yeah, in like a mother and daughter figure sort of thing really, and that was really great, and it was definitely really great. And in my opinion, guys, this movie gave absolutely perfect closure to the franchise of Alien, in my opinion. Because at the end of this movie, all the aliens were defeated, especially the iconic villain being the Alien Queen, who is one of my favourite monsters ever. I really love the Alien Queen, and the defeat of the Alien Queen was very iconic, guys. I definitely really love the defeat of the Alien Queen, along with Ripley's famous line, which you guys probably are aware of. And yeah, definitely a great way to end it. Great closure right there, because all the aliens were defeated, and then Ripley and Hicks and Newt and also and Bishop, who was unfortunately torn in half, the android who was ripped in half, they all go into the ship and they return to Earth in hypersleep. So yeah, and that to me, guys, is where the franchise ended. But unfortunately, guys, was it 6 years later, this was very unfortunately deemed not to be, because after this movie, guys, we got, probably was, in my opinion, the absolute worst Alien movie of all time. In terms of a standalone movie, because in my opinion, the worst one of all time is the second Alien vs Predator crossover movie, Alien vs Predator Requiem. But in terms of standalone Alien movies, the sequel to this movie, guys, is, in my opinion, absolute worst, which is Alien 3 or Alien Cubed, whatever you want to call it, because the 3 is literally like the cube symbol, so yeah. And this movie, guys, Alien 3 absolutely sucked, guys. And what this movie did was, in my opinion, the opening of the movie absolutely ruined the ending of Aliens, because at the start of the movie, the ship called the USS Sulaco crashes onto a planet called Fiorina 161, or Fury 161, we want to call it, due to somehow a stowaway facehugger getting on board and triggering fire. And the ship ejects Ripley, Newt, and Hicks and the damaged Bishop in an escape pod. And as a result, Newt and Hicks die in the crash. So, how dare they kill off two beloved characters like that? In one of the most stupidest ways possible ever. That, in my opinion, guys, was where the film died. And I feel really bad for director David Fincher as well, because he had a vision for his franchise and it was ruined very badly. Poor David Fincher. And And this movie also, in my opinion, absolutely ruined Ripley, because compared to the badass that she was in Aliens, they really ruined her and made her a very unlikable character who whined all the time in this movie, which I was very annoyed about. Yeah, I definitely hated that very much. And furthermore, as well, the movie also was incredibly boring as hell, because compared to the first movie, which was suspenseful or thriller movies in like with horror elements and sci-fi elements and the action, this movie just took place in a prison, and like it literally felt like a prison soap opera set on a different planet, not Earth. And that was just so stupid. Didn't feel like an actual alien movie at all. And of course, in the movie, Ripley also died because somehow she got an alien egg going inside her, which makes no sense because there was no aliens left in Aliens. They all got destroyed. So that was a very big plot hole right there. It was ridiculous. And despite this movie getting negativity, you know, very mixed reviews from critics at the time, although I personally hate this movie, guys, I think it's the worst standalone alien movie, it spawned another sequel, which was released, which was released 5 years later, being Alien Resurrection, which in my opinion is the second worst one. In my opinion, it's slightly better than Alien Cubed, as I nickname it, or Alien, if you want to call it. But it was still crap, guys. The only reason why I like it more is because Ron Perlman made it watchable as his character Ron John, who's in my opinion the only likable new character. It was still a crap movie nonetheless, though, guys. Absolutely rubbish. Really terrible. And the whole idea of, you know, Newton Hicks dying is like, you know, a sort of joke I have with regard to movies which kill off their characters who are beloved really early to movies. So, like, for example, John Connor's death in Terminator, crap fate as I nickname it. It's basically I say he got alien freed. You see what I mean? So, and I say that with regards to other characters who die really early, like also Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat Abomination as I nickname, which is my second worst movie I've ever seen of all time. So, yeah. And thankfully, however, guys, they didn't do any sequels to Resurrection. Thank God for that, because it would have probably just made even more crap sequels, to be honest. I'm just glad they stopped making them for this movie. We instead, of course, got two prequels, guys, which is in the Alien franchise, which is Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which in my opinion are slightly better than Alien Resurrection and Alien 3, but still nowhere near as epic or as memorable as the first two Alien movies, in my opinion. And they should probably do like a third prequel movie to help set up the first movie, but to be honest, guys, I'm not really that excited for it, to be honest. Because in my opinion, a way better prequel than these two movies is the game called Alien Isolation. In my opinion, that's a way better prequel to the first two movies of Alien. Way better. Because I love how it focused on Ripley's daughter and you know, was setting up things. And it had the same amounts of suspense and thrill and the horror as the first movie. And the sequel as well, with the action as well. But the prequels are fine, I guess, but still not as great as the first two Alien movies. So yeah, now, whenever I do a rewatch of Alien franchise, guys, I'm only going to watch, you know, the first two movies here on the top, as you can see, Alien and Aliens, and I'll stop right there. I'm not going to watch Alien 3 or Resurrection, unless, of course, I'm rewatching for upcoming Trash Talks or Station Awards in the future. I will also watch Prometheus and Alien Covenant, because they're like, you know, guilty pleasures to me to watch, really. But still not really much a fan of them. I still prefer the first two movies far more, because in my opinion they're way better. And yeah, and I'll be sure as well to, you know, review those as well. But they won't get trash talk, guys, because in my opinion they're just mediocre, not really, you know, the best movies of a franchise. In my opinion, Alien and Aliens are the true best movies in the franchise, and the only best in my opinion. They're all the ones that love most out of the 6 movies so far for the standalone Alien movies. So yeah, So guys, today's video movie DNA sequels covering Aliens, the 1986 movie, my second movie of all time by James Cameron, and in my opinion, DNA sequels because it gave great closure to the characters, so yeah. So you know, drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to comment what you guys think of Aliens, the movie. Do you guys think it needed a sequel or not? Let me know what you think. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for movies in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press join, peace out, or you can in the description, and I'll see you all later.